Yes, Madam Chair. I want to take a point of personal privilege to speak to an issue that has caused some degree of consternation, and to utilize this opportunity to first and foremost address any issues relative to individuals or organizations or groups that may have found some offense in some representation of what the district does or does not do relative to serving students with autism and students with special needs in general. I've stepped out there numerous times, and I'll continue to step out there in solidarity with you, Madam Chair, with you, Dr. Bendross-Mendengal, with you, Board Member Fraga, with you, Dr. Perez, with you, Ms. Rojas, with you, Ms. Baez-Geller, Dr. Navarro in her absence, and Ms. Santos in her absence, and colleagues who came actually before I got on this board and since that time. One of the things I think is important is to affirm, number one, the board's unquestionable, unparalleled, unapologetic commitment to serving and meeting the needs of all of our students, specifically students as well with who are autistic and have special needs, and to collaborate with any and all parent groups and organizations that are committed to this work. There was a communication that has come forward, and regretfully, that communication has caused some consternation, but I think it's important that that communication be clarified relative to not simply words, because words do matter, but when you look at the work and you look at the record of this board and of this district, it's unquestionable that we have had a consistent, united, unanimous commitment to serving students with autism and serving students with special needs and meeting the needs of all of our students from Florida City to County Line Road, recognizing that there are always opportunities to improve and to further engage, but I thought that it was important that we, number one, affirm our commitment, which, Madam Chair, I want to just say parenthetically, you have led, and this is not what I'm saying, this is in the record. The board items, the proclamations, the declarations, the partnerships, you have really led in this particular space, and since I've been on the board. And having worked at a special needs center, having worked in this district for over 30 years, there's been no question about the district's commitment. Notwithstanding some of the consternation, and again, I regret, and I'm sure the board, in its commitment, we regret anyone who would misinterpret, misconstrue, and in some cases have these efforts maligned. When our efforts are noble, our efforts are sincere, our efforts have been consistent, and our efforts are intentional. Coupled with the fact that we now have Dr. Dotris, who has been actively engaged, as well as our administration as a whole has been engaged in working with all partners and all parents in this particular scenario. So it is my hope that we do not become restricted to sentences, sound bites, representations that diminish, deny, debunk what this board and what this district has done relative to being committed to students with autism and special needs students across this district, and again, low-performing students, gifted students, talented students. We are here to serve all of our students and work with any and everyone in that regards. But I, made a response, and some of the feedback that I got confirmed that something was missing, and I think what was missing or what was misinterpreted and what was not amplified is the reality of the work of this board, the reality of the leadership of this district, the reality of the dedication of the superintendent, the value that we place on organizations and parent groups that are committed to this work. And as I go down the aisle, I know Dr. Perez is committed to all of our students. I know Board Member Fraga is committed to all of our students. I know Board Member Dr. Navarro is committed to all our students. Dr. Bendros Mendengal is committed to all of our students. Ms. Hampman, you have led this work in this particular vein. Board Member Rojas, Board Member Baez Geller, just left the classroom serving and leading and instructing our students and doing that with dignity, pride, and indistinguishable based on their particular needs. And definitely Board Member Santos continues to advocate for our students. And that advocacy predated my arrival. That advocacy predated many of us on this board. But I must say, Ms. Hampman, I was a bit perturbed because I have seen and reviewed the record of your leadership and of your dedication, of your advocacy around this issue as not only chair but a member of this board. And each and every item I looked at was unanimously supported by board members around these particular issues. So again, Madam Chair, I want to thank you for the point of personal privilege. I pray and I hope that we continue to work as a board and as a community and as parent groups, because we appreciate you, we embrace you. And if anybody felt maligned by anything that was characterized, any characterization outside of this board's commitment is a mischaracterization. And again, for that, it is regretful. We regret any interpretation that was not consistent with our work, was not consistent with our head, and definitely is inconsistent with our hearts. Thank you, Madam Chair, and I just wanted to say that for the record, and I have been speaking to parents individually and echoing that message, but I wanted to say that publicly and to definitely affirm the leadership of this board, the leadership of you, Madam Chair, and the leadership of this district, and definitely the new leadership of Dr. Dotris, who has taken a very proactive approach to deal with many of these issues. Thank you, Madam Chair, for that opportunity.